Hey folks, Deano here again. This time taking a look at another bootleg Figuarts. This is based off the boy from the future Trunks. And yeah, this isn't the same one that I took a look at last year, was it? Something like that. Time is flying so fast now, genuinely. But no, this is by a different company. In fact, it's from the same company as the Kaioken Goku and the Rose Goku Black that I took a look at last month. So yeah, but I do have to say, a couple of you in the comments section have been telling some porkies. Yeah, you guys convinced me to get this on the premise that it was a good bootleg. It is not in fact that good, to be honest with you, at least in my opinion. It is serviceable, I'll give it that, and it is in fact better than the bootleg that we've seen last year. But it does have a lot of shortcomings as well, some of which I have already had to fix just so I could do the review. The one thing I can't fix, however, is those faces. Yeah, we will take a closer look at those later on in the video, but suffice to say, if you want to use this guy in any meaningful display, even in the background, you will need to either have the official already or the demoniacal fit one, just so you can have some extra faces. I have checked off camera. The official faces do fit on these hairs, so yeah, you can do that. I haven't yet checked if the heads fit on this yet, so we will check that later on. But yeah, the faces are certainly not this figure's strong suit, put it that way. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this guy off the turntable and take a look at the box. Oh, and obviously, link is in the description if you wish to purchase this guy or any of the other bootlegs that I have either mentioned or reviewed. There are some more coming shortly. Thanks to the Black Friday sale, I managed to get Full Power Frieza and the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. So, yeah, be thankful for that. I wasn't going to get them, but you guys persuaded me. So, yeah, let's take a look at this box, shall we? So, yeah, the front of the box is a little bit strange. It's not quite as bad as the Kaioken or the Rose ones, but no, the camera isn't dark. That's just how dark this image is. It's very, very strange. Very strange. Also, for some reason, we've got a light emerald green between the frames instead of the usual colour. Also a bit strange. And also we have some kanji down the bottom. I'm not sure whether that's Chinese or Japanese. It looks Japanese to me, but I'm probably completely wrong there. So yeah, it probably just says Boy from the Future Trunks. And on the back is the world's worst photocopy job for the back of this figure's box. Oh my god, you can barely make out the figure in some of these images. Genuinely. They have literally just photocopied the box. Like, there's nothing else for it. That's insane. But yeah, apart from that, standard style packaging. I'm honestly impressed. Like, this is 3 for 3 so far that I have actually managed to get the box with one of these bootlegs. Like, one of them is going to come and it's not going to have the box, I know for a fact, but I am shocked. being basically the resident bootleg reviewer on YouTube at this point, I'm shocked. Like, genuinely. I usually don't get any boxes with bootlegs. But yeah, let's take a look at what he comes with. So, in terms of everything this bootleg comes with, pretty much everything the original came with, thankfully. So, nothing skimped out here, unlike the Kaioken version. It's not as if the bootleg companies skimped out in that. It was originally Tamashii. Tamashii literally included nothing with that figure, but yeah, I digress. We have both heads, including the 2 different front bang pieces for early Android Saga to late Android Saga, plus obviously when he's swinging the sword and things like that. Base form head plus the face that goes with it. 4 faces for Super Saiyan, 6 pairs of hands, and the sword and scabbard. Sword and scabbard is an absolute nightmare. It's a pain in the backside. The strap is too small. Just straight up, it does not fit around the figure. Like, genuinely. I have tried and tried and tried, and it just pops out on either the top or the bottom whenever I manage to get it on there. So yeah, you will have to do some gluing to get that to work, unfortunately. But yeah, by far the worst part of this set, because honestly, the Super Saiyan and the base form heads are actually pretty well made compared to the old bootleg that I reviewed. There won't be a comparison between that and this one, unfortunately. That has long been used for parts. That is long gone. But yeah, the faces on this one, to say they leave a bit to be desired is a bit of an understatement. Oh my god. What is this? Why do they look like this? Why do they look like that? Oh, the looking sideways face doesn't look much better. Honestly, but it's not just the faces that make a figure. Everything else has to be taken into account as well, like the base form head. No, I refuse to believe that anyone thinks you can actually use those faces. In terms of the scabbard, it's quite a tight fit. I believe they've maybe used quite a thick paint on this, and that's why it's struggling a little. Also, there's a bit of flashing up the top there. Oh, there we go. It's popped off on my hand. So yeah, not the cleanest on the planet, but you will be able to make do with it. Let's see. Yes, I can actually do it on camera. That was purely through the viewfinder there. But yeah, in terms of the hands, unlike the original bootleg, they have actually not skimped out on these. These are all the Boy from the Future hands, which means that some of them are indeed based off the legendary Super Saiyan Goku mold, blah 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 blah. But yeah, we get a pair of fists, a pair of sword gripping hands, a pair of angled sword gripping hands, a pair of Ki Blast Big Bang style hands, a pair of martial arts posy or burning attack hands when he's doing the motions, and then full on Ki Blast style hands. So yeah, pretty decent, and you even get a stand with it. So yeah, I'm honestly pretty impressed that every single one of these bootlegs so far has come with a stand. Like, some of the stands you get on AliExpress aren't as good quality as you get in these bootlegs, and those are like £2 a pop. Like, I know that doesn't sound like much anyway, but when you consider official Tamashii stages are like a £12-15 for 3, and they have, quite frankly, just as much chance of breaking because it's clear plastic. Yeah, getting a stand, always a good thing. So yeah, let's get the figure back in here and take a look at him. So thankfully, popping the parts together on this guy is actually pretty decent. The ball joints are not too tight or anything like that. Hands just pop on easily enough with a soft click. And yeah, actually pretty impressed with that. I think the other bootlegs were the same, weren't they? So yeah, at least they're prioritising some sort of quality control. So in order to put the faces on, you do it with the base form. You can indeed do that. What I will be doing though is getting some real base form heads just to try it, and yeah, thankfully that pops on quite nicely. Actually works really well. I like that. Does this pop on Easy enough. Yep, it does. Only problem is the figure seems to have a giraffe neck with that sort of thing, which is a little bit unfortunate. Why does the lighting seem so harsh all of a sudden? Not sure. That'll do. In fact, that's a little bit dark. Apologies, folks. Apologies. Yeah, that'll do for now. I think it's the blacks and greys that are sort of messing with the camera. So yeah, base form face at least does fit on the bootleg head. We do have a 3.0 style peg right there. I think if I drilled into the heads a bit more, that would solve the long neck issue. But yeah, easy enough to pop on and off in any case. Again, let's try a real face right here. And try the other set of bangs, because we had the normal ones on earlier. And yeah, that all fits. And instantly the figure's looking much better with decent faces on there. I will attempt to put the scabbard on so you don't think I'm lying. If we pop this bottom bit off, slide that around, you will notice the buckle is not painted red. They forgot, which is, it's going. Definitely not the best. I mean, it pops in, but just the pressure of it having to slot around, just no, that's get away. That's not working. So yeah, he will be without his scabbard, unfortunately. But yeah, overall, a decent enough looking figure. It certainly looks better than the last one. Now all of a sudden it is looking a bit dark. Oh my god. Right, so apologies, folks. So yeah, overall look of the figure, it does look the part. I will give it that. It's got a deeper blue than the official, I will say, which is a bit surprising, honestly. Like, I thought they would have just copied it one for one, but no, it's a different shade. The official is quite purple. This one you could almost get away with it being for base form with the darker colours. But yeah, decent enough. Paint apps on the figure itself are actually applied pretty cleanly. Like the upper chest here is obviously painted, and yeah, it looks fine considering the fact that it's painted over black. Usually even official companies struggle with that. Unfortunately, different colour of ball peg for the feet, and different colour here, which kind of stands out like a sore thumb. But overall, it's applied cleanly enough. There's some sloppiness on the boot tips and a big streak of grey for some reason on that side of the boot, despite the fact that I don't think anywhere's been painted grey. Oh no, it has. The back of the heel here has been painted grey. So yeah, but overall, decent enough. I have just noticed though, yeah, the Capsule Corp the Capsule Corp logo is not on this figure, like on either side. They have neglected to put that on. I don't know whether that's just something with this figure in general, or if that's just something with my copy of this bootleg, but yeah, something to keep in mind. If you're wanting to display this, maybe hide that side. Otherwise it will annoy you, trust me. It's annoying me and I've just only found out about it. Yeah, overall details of the figure are not too bad for a bootleg anyway. In terms of the articulation, the head can look up decently far. That is purely because the the neck is so overly long. I'll probably fix that later on. Neck can go down about that far. Swivel and pivot. There are some weird shapes to this neck for me, and it still doesn't seem to go in much. I think I might snip some parts of that, because it is just hitting off against the rest of the chest. So yeah, arms can go up that far. Swivel all the way around. Is this a 2.0 or a 3.0 style of butterfly? I think it's actually a 3.0. Oh my god, they have actually done it. Butterfly, because the jacket's a bit tighter than you would expect, you're not getting the best range, but at least you're getting some. That's as far forward as you can bring the arms, which is better than nothing. Bicep swivel, pretty decent. Double joint at the elbow. I did have to cut. Oh, the assembly just came off there. But yeah, there was a bit of sprue on each of these pieces of articulation here. I had to snip those off because I was getting no rotation at the elbow at all. So yeah, with those cut, he gets actually really good range. That is quite impressive, to be honest. Ball hinge at the wrist. And that's popped out again. That's going to become a thorn in my side. Oh my god, get in. Right, I did also have to fix this. If we pop this apart right here. Yeah, unlike the official, at least I think so anyway, this lower section is a softer, more malleable piece. The same way Legendary Super Saiyan Goku, Daima Goku, etc. all work. But yeah, true to form, mine's was back to front. I had to swap it about, and it was also hanging off this point of articulation here, this hinge. So I just popped it back into position. And yeah, that absolutely fixed it. It's no longer wanting to stay put for me. Come on, there we go. There we go. We got a click. So yeah, we just popped it back together. And it was sorted. And with it sorted, we get some pretty decent ab crunch. We get a little bit, oh, there we go. Just had to go over a lip there. So yeah, we get some arc back as well. Some decent enough pivot side to side. It's mostly at the waist more than anything else. The crotch section, they have been naughty, same way they did with the 2.0s. Yeah, this looks like a 3.0, but it's a 1.0 joint. Pull down hips. That's a new one. Like, that is definitely a new one. Yeah, you can see the articulation there. They have literally just created a cap piece to hide the articulation. Honestly, I think this is legend creation. Like, unnecessary changes for the sake of changes. Like, I don't understand it. It works decently enough, to be fair. But why they didn't just stick with the original articulation, I do not know. But at least this way, it's remained quite tight. And it actually gets some pretty decent splits. So yeah, I suppose that's a proof of concept that 1.0 style hips would actually still work quite fine in the Dragon Ball line if they designed them like this. Like, genuinely, this is pretty decent. Pop those back up like so. We get thigh rotation, double joint at the knee. That's a little bit tight for my liking. That's kind of worrying, especially bootlegs, low quality, chance of breaking. double joint at the knees, standard articulation there. No boot cut, but there is a ball hinge at the foot, so it can go up, not too much, can go back a bit. Some ankle pivot, very minor, it likes to bounce back into place, and toe articulation. So yeah, oh my god, that's very tight. If I'm going to be using this in any sort of display, I'm going to have to fix that with some silicone oil, 100%. But yeah, overall, I'm kind of warming up to this figure, I'm not going to lie. I apologise for what I said at the start of this video. it's not a bad figure by any means. It's literally just the faces and the QC that you have to fix, that lets it down somewhat. Plus the ankles are starting to give way, which is always fun. But yeah, let's quickly bring in the official. The official obviously has the Tonson head on it. It's just much better head, just overall. But yeah, I would say this is pretty decent, honestly. Like, definitely coming around to this. It's a decent background bootleg, quite honestly. And I hope the Frieza and the Gohan are the same. So yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Links will be in the description. Again, if you wish to purchase any of the bootlegs from this company, I have compiled a list. Let me know what you think down below. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.